Hello guys, Robert Visitation here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the uppercut. We're going to talk about the why. Why are we going to throw that uppercut? We're going to talk about the stance and setting up those uppercuts. We're going to talk about some combos. We're going to work on the exact technique, proper technique, how to throw those. And we're also going to, if you hold on a little bit later in the video, we're going to talk about how to get exceptional power out of that video as well. Guys, if you're enjoying my videos here, man, I'd really appreciate it if you'd punch that subscribe button and kick that like button for me there as well. It really helps my algorithm and help me be able to continue to bring you relevant content for your kickboxing, boxing, or Muay Thai journey. So let's get started. Okay, so why? Why do we want to throw an uppercut? We're not going to just constantly throw 1-2s and expect to get the result that we're looking for, right? So we need to throw misdirectional punches that come from odd areas, right? And the uppercut is a classic example of a misdirectional punch, okay? So when we're throwing, like say we're doing a combination where 1, 2, 3, drop that uppercut, boom, and straight up the center. It just gives you different angles that your punches are coming from, which is then in turn, you're going to be able to land more strikes with that. So what is the actual reason to throw that uppercut? The reason to throw that uppercut is to raise that head. Why do we want to raise that head? Well, when you have somebody in the corner or you have somebody that's maybe not backing up and they're holding like this, they got their hands in front of their body right here and they're trying to keep those blocks up. Well, what that does, that comes right up the center, raises that head. Now, a couple things we want to do is if we're going to go through all the trouble of doing this stuff to raise that head, what do we want to do? If our opponent is in this position from that uppercut, we want to take it off. Boom. Now, what do I mean by take the head off? I mean, take the head off. Just kidding. Here we go. So, say you land that 6, and you're fighting someone that's kind of shelled up or covered up right now, but now you come right up the guard, raise that chin up, and if you do that correctly, this is what you should be looking at. Okay? And if you see that right there, you see you rose that chin with that uppercut, then we follow that left hook, boom, and we take it off. And that's the reason why you want to be able to land a good solid uppercut is to follow up with that left hook. Now, the stances are pretty much just general boxing stance. If you're boxing or Muay Thai, you might be a little bit lighter on that, but you still want to have a good boxing stance. And I know some people will disagree with this, but I want to keep the hands home here at VFit. One of our big main things we talk about every day is hands home, hands home. But you don't want chicken wings either, where you got these elbows out here and leave this body open as well. So you want to keep those elbows in tight, keep those hands up by the head to protect that as well. Okay, so your uppercut's really just going to come out of just a regular conventional stance, whether you're southpaw, pow, pow, or whether you're fighting conventional. So, a couple of the typical combinations that you'll find with these is your 1, 2, 3, boom, 6 up the middle, and that's kind of a common practice at any boxing gym, Muay Thai gym, if you're working a lot of hands there as well, is the 1, 2, 3, 6. But what do we say about that 6? If you raise that chin up and you raise that head up there, we've got to take it off. So we're going to add a 1, 2, 3, 6, and take it off with. So let's talk about the proper technique to execute this properly. We're going to go back to that same combination that we just did a minute ago, the 4-punch combination, the 1, 2, 3, 6. And we'll kind of walk you through that combination, and we'll tell you how we're setting up and what our body is doing for that uppercut. We throw the jab, like I said, we always keep our hands home. So we throw that jab out, our shoulders over here on this side. We throw that jab out, our shoulders shrugged over here on this side to help any counter hooks that we could be encountering over there, so you don't take them right on your jaw. When you throw that jab out, it comes right back home as we go and we throw that right hand there as well, okay? So from the front angle, it's a jab. You're going to engage your hips a little bit in this jab so you get a little bit more pop out of it, and you get a little bit more range out of it as well. From the side, it's here. Okay? From the front, it's 1, 2. We talked about that already, about how we shrug each shoulder to kind of protect the other side of our hand, or excuse me, our head. And now we're going to do the 3. We're going to go 1, 2. Now when we're doing 2, if you look from this position here, most of my weight is on my front foot. So as this hand is coming back home and we're taking some of the weight off that and we're distributing it more to 50-50, most of it's like 80-20 right now. 80% weight on your front foot. So as we're starting to distribute it back to 50-50, this hand's going to come back home. We're going to drop and lock our hand over here on this side, and we're going to pivot through and use our hip for that hook. And we've got a whole hook video that I will post right up there if you want to check that one out as well. So we're 1, 2, 3. And here's what we're going to do. This left hand went through. Let's turn it towards you now on this one. 1, 2, 3. We're stopped right here. As this left hand comes up towards the head, this right hand is going to drop here. And as I'm going to twist my body, I'm going to try to get these shoulders to a 6 and 12. It's not going to be exactly 6 and 12, but that's how I describe it, is to a 6 and 12 position. So you're not going to be able to see it as much because 1, 2, 3, I'm bringing my hand up here. But now you're going to get those shoulders at a 6 and 12 position as you're coming here, and you're going to stand up, and then throw that punch right there. From the side, we'll go ahead and show you how it is from the side. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Now right here, we start bringing this hand back home. We drop and lock our right hand, or uppercut hand, over on this side. As we turn our bodies and our shoulders to more of a 6 and 12 position, we're going to drop this one here. You see how my leg is bent? And then we're going to come up and we're going to throw that uppercut with some power. Now, talking about power, a lot of people you will see will throw this uppercut just boom, like this right here, boom, and use it mainly all arm for it, okay? Sometimes it works. It's not the proper way, and they're wasting a lot of energy, and they're not getting the power that they could generate out of that punch by doing it correctly. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to bring this hand back home. We're going to drop and lock this one here. As I go down, as I'm starting to twist, this leg breaks down a little bit, right? As I come up, I want to lift. I want to straighten this leg up, but I also want to throw and push that hip up to get extra power. So I threw the hook. I'm coming back. I'm dropping and locking. And this is where you're going to get that extra power right here. Straight. By the time you hit your target, make sure this leg is straight. Make sure this hip is pushing upwards as well. So it's a hook, drop, turn, bend that leg, stand up, boom, straight up, and then take it off with that left hook. Okay, so from the front, it's going to look like a 1, 2, 3. Here comes the 6. 6. My legs straight up. My hips are pushed towards the ceiling as well. And then I take it off with that left hook again. So now we've seen ways that you can use that uppercut offensively. Now let's turn it around. How are we going to use this uppercut defensively? Defensively, what I typically like to do is I like to fish. I like to throw that jab out there and fish. What I mean by fishing is see what the reaction's going to be. Is he going to back up because he doesn't feel good at boxing? Is he going to sit down and bite the bullet and sit in the pocket with me in exchange? Or am I going to throw the jab and he's going to start rushing me and coming at me? I like those. A lot of people don't, but we like that. That's what we call fishing. So we're going to sit there, we're going to jab. We're going to jab. Now all of a sudden he starts rushing me. Jab. I start going back like I'm retreating. Jab, jab. He starts rushing me. Go back like I'm retreating. Stop. Plant that foot. And then we're going to go into the same technique that we just talked about. Again, we're jabbing. We're fishing. Now all of a sudden he's coming. Oh, pop, pop, pop. Right there, okay? We're jabbing. We're jabbing. He starts coming. We retreat. We stop. We plant that foot. We get those shoulders, that 12 and 6, which breaks that leg down slightly. And then we come up with a 6, across with a 3, and take that head off. There's a couple other things also defensively that you can use that hook for as well. That's going to be when you're against the cage, against the ropes, maybe in the corner, and you don't have the luxury to be able to raise back, right, to get power out of any of my straight punches that we usually throw. So you're probably against the cage, against the ropes, in the corner. We're going to sit here and we're going to parry and we're going to deflect as they're punching. When we find our opportunity, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to drop lock, come up the center with that uppercut. We want that to land. Hopefully that 6 lands, raises his chin, boom, and we take it off that way as well. So we talked about the offense. We just talked about a couple defensive strategies. The one where we're fishing, go back, plant, drop, throw that uppercut, then throw that hook, take it off. We also talked about a little bit about backing up against the cage or in the corner where we're picking off shots. We find our opportunity. We get those shoulders at 12 and 6 again, right? And then drive up with that 6 and take it off with that 3 with that hook again. All right, guys, so there you go. There is a step-by-step tutorial on how to throw the correct uppercut with good technique and with good power. So if you enjoy the videos that are here, guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Kick that like button for me there as well. That would really help out my algorithm and help me be able to continue to bring you good quality content for your boxing, your kickboxing, or your Muay Thai journey. So until next time, yeah.